Today let's solve 2020 AP ESET physics questions. So let's go to the first question. So what is the dimension formula for magnetic flux? So what is the formula of magnetic flux? Phi is nothing but magnetic field into area. So if you remember, magnetic field B is nothing but F by Q into V. So phi can be written simply as force by charge into velocity into area. So we know the dimension formula of force, which is ml t power minus 2, mass into acceleration into area. I simply write L square. So for Q, the dimensional formula is C into T. So A into T, e power 1 into t power 1, and V is velocity is L t power minus 1. So if I adjust all the terms, we getting m L square, because L gets cancelled, t power minus 2 and a power minus 1. So if you see the options, you will be having option number 1. Next, what is the angular frequency unit? So omega is equal to 2 pi by t is the formula of angular frequency, which has a unit radians per second. So degrees or radians per second is the answer. Next, the sum of two vectors A and B is at right angles to their difference. Then, so given A plus B is perpendicular to A minus B, so in dot product, if two vectors are perpendicular, then P into Q is 0. So here I can simply write A plus B into A minus B is equal to 0. Or since it is matrices, it will be A into AB plus B into A minus B into B. I can simply write it as these two gets cancelled. A into A is equal to B into B, or A is equal to B. Next, so the resultant of two forces, one double the other in magnitude, is perpendicular to the smaller of two forces, and the angle between the two forces is given. First is same, and the second one, B is 2 times the first vector. He is also saying that resultant is A plus B, and the resultant is perpendicular to the first vector. So by dot product, we remember R into A is equal to 0, or if I substitute R as A plus B, into A is equal to 0, because R is equal to A plus B. So A square plus AB is equal to 0, or modulus of A square plus mod A into mod B AB is into cos theta is equal to 0. Also, we are given B is 2A. So here mod A whole square plus 2 into mod A into mod B into mod A into cos theta. Or if I, since the magnitude of a vector cannot be equal to 0, so if I take mod A whole square common, I will be having 1 plus 2 cos theta is equal to 0, and this is not equal to 0 means this is equal to 0. So cos theta is equal to minus 1 by 2, or theta is equal to 120 degrees. So you have theta is equal to 120 degrees. Next, A body starts from rest and travels a distance x in first 2 seconds and a distance y in next 2 seconds. So we'll simply draw a small diagram. A, B and C. So initial velocity is 0 and it travels x and then y. The time taken t here is 2 seconds and time t is 2 seconds. So if you apply your laws of motion, Newton's laws of motion, S is equal to ut plus half at square. So in the first case, for the distance traveled between AB, S will be, since u is 0, 0 plus half into a into t square, or S is equal to, where t is equal to 2. So 2 square by 2, you will be getting S is equal to 2a. Next, what is the distance between AC? This is nothing but x plus y. So this is 0 plus half into a into t here is 4 whole square. So I'll be getting x plus y will be 8a. Because x is already included, I'll be getting y is equal to 8a minus 2a. This subtracted, so y is equal to 6a. So this is 2a and this is 6a. Now if you just try to see a comparison 2a and 6a, so they have a product relation of y is equal to 3x. Next, here two bodies are projected from ground with the same speed, and if the angles of their projection from ground are 45 degrees and 15 degrees, what is the ratio of range? So horizontal range formula is simply R is u square sine 2 theta by g. So in the first case theta 1 is 45 degrees and in the other case theta 2 is 15 degrees. So if I substitute R value, horizontal range will be u square into sine 2 into 45, which is 90 degrees, divided by g. So the range 1 will be sine 90 is 1, so u square by g. So in this case horizontal range will be u square into sine into 2 into 15, which is sine 30 degrees by g, or you can simply write u square by g into sine 30 is 1 by 2. Now if I have a ratio of range hr1 to hr2, it will be u square by g divided by u square by g into 1 by 2, or these get cancelled, I will be getting 2 by 1. So the answer is 2 by 1. Next, so two bodies of different masses are dropped from heights 2 meters and 8 meters respectively, and the ratio of the time taken by them, what is it? So given h1 in the first case, or the s1 is 2 meters, so as that they are freely dropped, u is equal to 0, so s will be distance traveled is ut plus half at square, or since u is equal to 0, s will become, as it is given as 2, so 2 will be 0 plus half into free falling body A, which is equal to gravity, into t1 square. So I will be having calculation t1 square is equal to 40 divided by t1 square is simply 4 by 10 or 2 by 5. Next, so in the second case, h, or the distance traveled, is 8 meters. So same, s is equal to ut plus half at square. So in this case, the travel distance is 8, and since it is a free falling body, u is 0 plus half into a is again 10 into t2 square. So in this case, what is the value of t2? It will be simply root 8 by 5. So in this case T1 will be root 2 by 5, and in this case it is root 8 by 5. So T1 by T2 is nothing but root 2 by root 5 divided by root 2 can be written as 2 root 2 by root 5. So it will be simply 1:2. Next, the angle of projection of a projectile for which horizontal range and maximum range are equal. So the two formulas are: horizontal range is u square sine 2 theta by g, and maximum height is u square sine square theta by 2g. He said both are equal, therefore at what theta you are supposed to calculate. So I can simply write u square sine 2 theta by g is equal to u square sine square theta by g by 2g. So I can simply write u square get cancelled and g gets cancelled. So sine 2 sine theta into cos theta is equal to sine square theta. So if I cancel this, 2 cos theta is equal to sine theta, again I have a 2 here, by 2, or simply tan theta will be 4, or theta will be tan inverse 4. The answer is second option. Next, if mu k is constant, is coefficient of friction, and mu r is coefficient of rolling friction and kinetic friction, remember. So and mu s is the coefficient of static friction. Now you have to remember the coefficient of friction, mu is proportional to friction. So rolling friction generally is very less and static friction is very high. So simply you can remember equation: static is greater than kinetic is greater than rolling. So when do we get these three different types of friction? So rolling friction will be when the body is in rolling condition, and kinetic friction will be when the body is in moving position, and finally static friction will be when the body is either at rest or when ready to move. So in this case simply mu s will be greater than mu k greater than mu r. Among all the options, first option is right. Next, so a boy of mass 40 kg is climbing a vertical pole at a constant speed. So imagine a boy, okay, so he is climbing up and his mass acceleration into gravity will be getting down. So if the coefficient of friction between his palms and the pole is 0.8 and g is 10, what is the horizontal force that is applying on the force? So these are the two forces related to friction. So here F is mg, which is the downward force, and in case the friction will be F is equal to mu n, so it will be something mu n will be equal to mg, or n will be mg by mu. So m is 40 and g is 10 and mu is 0.8. So I will be getting n is equal to 500 Newton. Next, how many 2.5 kg bricks can a man carry up a 3.6 meter staircase in 1 hour if he works at an average of 9.8 watts? So n is the number of bricks and m is the mass of each bricks, which is 2.5 kg. So what is the total mass? It is n into the number of bricks mass, which is 2.5 kg. So height is given as 3.6 meter, time is given as 1 hour, or 60 minutes or 60 into 60, which is 3600 seconds. The power is given in the question as 9.8 watts. So we have the power equation. P is mgh by time. So here power is given as 9.8. M is number of bricks into the weight, and G is 9.8 and H is 3.6 meters, and time is given as 3600 seconds. So 3.6 thousand times 9.8. So I'll be simply 2.5 n is 1000, or I can write this as 5 by 2 into n is equal to 1000. So 5 200s are, or n will be 400. Next, a spring of force constant. So I am given force constant K as an extension of 5 centimeters. What is the work done in extending it from 5 centimeter to 15 centimeter? So given parameters, K is 800 Newton per meter, x1 is 5 centimeter, or I can write in meters 5 by 100 meter, and x2 is 15 centimeter or 15 by 100 meter. Now what is the work done? We have the formula. The work done is half K into x2 square minus x1 square, or simply half 800 into 15 by 100 square minus 5 by 100 square. So this will be 800, 4 gets 400 into divided by 100 square. So 225 minus 25, or simply 400 into 200 divided by 100 into 100, which will be 8 joules. Next, 63rd question. So among the following sources of energy, for which source sun is not a chief source? So see this. So if you observe the options, thermal, sun is related to sun, wind has a related with some sort of air which is movement due to next. Biomass is also related with sun, but hydro is related to water. So simply by seeing this keyword, already also previously we have a similar question. So remember, whenever there is hydro, it is water. So water is the chief source in this case in hydroelectric power plants. Next, a particle executes simple harmonic motion along a straight line so that time period is given as 12 seconds. The time taken in traversing a distance equal to half the amplitude and from equilibrium position. So what is the equation in SHM? So y is equal to r sin omega t governs the simple harmonic motion. So here y is your displacement, r is your amplitude. Now in the second half of the question, it is clearly given y is half the amplitude, or r by 2, and t is 12 seconds. So r by 2 is equal to r sin omega t. So I can simply write sin omega t is equal to 1 by 2. So omega t is equal to sin inverse 1 by 2, or omega is simply 2 pi by t into t. Sin inverse 1 by 2 is pi by 6, or 30 degrees. So I can simply write. Also here in this case, this value of t is given as 12. So 2 into 6, So I'll be left with t is equal to 1 second. Next, 65th question. So a particle executes simple harmonic motion with a frequency f. The frequency with which the potential energy oscillates so in one oscillation both kinetic energy and potential energy becomes 2 times maximum and 2 times minimum. So I can simply remember, if this is my bob, so I have two maxima points and two minima points. So frequency of kinetic energy or frequency of potential energy, if you add both of them, I'll be getting 2f. I have two extreme points in the earlier question. So a tuning fork of frequency 512 Hz produces 4 beats per second when sounded with the tuning fork B. Due to filling of the prongs of the tuning fork, the number of beats per second will have become second. So what is the actual frequency of B? So if you remember, the value of B will be modulus of f1 minus f2. Given first one is 512 minus mod f. Let's consider f1 be the tuning fork A frequency and f2 or B be the second case. So either it is also given so here you have a frequency 4 beats per second. So the frequency can be either 512 plus 4, which is 516, or minus 4, 508. But given beats are said to be increasing to 6, therefore I will be having a frequency of 516. So if you see the options, I'll have 516. Next, a car is sounding a horn frequency of 1000 Hz passes an observer. So the ratio of frequencies of horn noted by the observer before and after the car passing is 11/9. What is the speed of sound of car? So imagine a person is here and a car is approaching, and it is leaving. Now he'll be hearing the horn frequencies. So initially V is the speed of sound and Vc is the speed of car. Next, F will be the frequency of sound and F dash will be the apparent frequency. So simply, as per Doppler's formula, the apparent frequency is F into V by V minus Vc, and after will be F into V by V plus Vc. So if you just keep a ratio of this, so before frequency, the frequency after will be V plus Vc by V minus Vc. So also we are given in the question ratio is 11:9. So if I substitute it, so 11/9 is V plus Vc by V minus Vc, or if I cross multiply, 11b minus 11bc is equal to 9b plus 9bc, or 2v is equal to 20bc, or vc is equal to v by 10. So v is equal to v by 10. So next question, 68 question. So what is reverberation time? So as per Sevine's formula, the T will be 0.165 into V by As, which is the area. So it is inversely proportional to the sound absorption. These are inversely proportional. Next, so the pressure P1 and density D1 of an diatomic gas change to P2 and U2 during an adiabatic process. So if D1 by D2 is 32, what is P2 by P1? So as per Boyle's law, P1 V1 power gamma is P2 V2 power gamma. So we have the density D is equal to mass by volume, or I can write V is mass by density. So if I substitute that in this, I will be getting P1 into m by D1 power gamma is equal to P2 into m by D2 power gamma. So simply P1 m1 gets cancelled by D1 power gamma is equal to P2 into D2 power gamma. So if I rearrange, I will be getting P1 by P2 by P1, which is D2 by D1 power gamma. So here D2 by D1 is given as 32 and gamma is 7 by 5. So D2 by D1, if I substitute 32 power 7 by 5. So 32 can be written as 2 power 5 into 7 by 5. So 5 gets cancelled, it is 2 power 7, which is 128. Next question, 70th question. So the first law of thermodynamics is concerned with this purely theoretical question. So what is it? Any guesses? So the first law of thermodynamics, dq is equal to du plus dw. So this is heat and this is internal energy and this is the work done. So if you observe, this is a application of law of conservation of energy. Okay, so next, so when an ice cube melts in water, what will happen? The entropy will be increasing and also the internal energy will also increase. So only this option is the correct answer. Next, so for nitrogen Cp minus Cv is X and for argon Cp minus Cv is Y. So what is the relation? So for any gas Cp minus Cv is R. Either it will be nitrogen or let it be argon. Still both will be having the same equation. So simply X will be equal to Y. Next, a Carnot's engine extracts 1.5 into 10 power 3 kilocalories of heat from a reservoir of temperature given. Exhaust it in a sink maintained at 27 degrees. What is the work performed? Here the energy is 1.5 into 10 power 3. It is in also kilocalories, that is why I am writing 10 power 3 calories. So to convert it into joules, I have to multiply with the factor of 4.2. So 1.5 into 10 power 6 into 4.2. Next, T1 is given at 627 degrees, which is in terms of Kelvin it will be 900 Kelvin, and T2 is at 27 degrees or simply in Kelvin plus 273, which will be 300 Kelvin. Now what is it? It is a Carnot engine. For a Carnot engine, efficiency will be 1 by T2 by T1 and work is nothing but 1 minus T2 by T1 into psi. So if you remember, ratio of T2 by T1 is 300 by 900 or it is 1 by 3. So efficiency is 1 minus 1 by 3, which is 2 by 3. So work will be 2 by 3 into 1.5 into 10 power 6 into 4.2, which is 4.2 into 10 power 6. 4.2 into 10 power 6 joules. So next, at critical angle, the angle of refraction is 90 degrees. This is a direct question. Next, superconductivity is due to the formation of copper pairs. So basically copper pairs are loose bound pairs of electrons with opposite spin and moving in with same speed in opposite directions. So this is one of the reason for the phenomenon called superconductivity. Okay.